Welcome to another new episode of the Get Organised with Declutter Me podcast with myself, Shalina. I hope you're well wherever you are in the world. I'm so grateful as always for you to be listening to the show on Spotify, YouTube, Apple Music, or even on my website. I really do appreciate it. So if you love the episodes, please like, share, tell your friends and family. The more I get, the more it goes out there in the world. So I'm really, really grateful for you. As you can see from what I'm wearing today, I'm still riding the wave of Japanese inspiration from my recent holiday there. And today I want to talk about something that really struck me while I was there. The everyday routines and small rituals that seem quietly and consistently support a tidy and well-organized life. It's not about big dramatic cleanouts or massive overhauls. It's about those small, thoughtful habits that become second nature and make life flow better. And what I saw in Japan was a whole culture built around those little practices. They're not flashy, but they really work. Now, as I mentioned in my previous episodes, I didn't go into people's homes. No one was giving me a house tour in Kyoto. But you can see a lot from how people live day to day. In the shops, the cafes, even in the convenience stores, which there are so many of them, and train stations. There is a flow, a rhythm, and it's built on routine and care. Let's start with the one thing that absolutely everyone does, taking off your shoes before entering a house, even in your hotel room. It's automatic in Japan, even in shops and in the changing rooms. It was so awesome in the change rooms. I mean, not taking off the shoes because I was wearing trainers and I'd have to unlace them. But they have a space for you to take off your shoes. Then you step up, go into the space to change. But you also have this thing you can put on your head to make sure you don't put the makeup onto the clothes that you're trying on. They were so brilliant. I admit I took some of them home because they're useful to wear when I'm in the house and like I've put my makeup on and then I put my clothes on. I wish they had that elsewhere because, sometimes you buy clothes from stores and there's suddenly makeup on it and they don't have any other sizes. And it's so irritating, especially in the UK, that happens a lot. So anyway, back to the removing the shoes. So there's always a separate section for shoes. You step into a space and straight away you're acknowledging that this is a different environment. It's just a simple act, but it sets the tone. You're not bringing the mess of the outside world into that space. We could all take that on board, especially in a sandy place like Dubai. Having a little shoe area by the door, a tray or a basket for slippers, and maybe even a place to hang your bag and keys. It's a mini routine that helps keep your home cleaner and more ordered. It's weirdly something that I have been doing for a very long time, and I have it in my house. I have a shoe stand for my everyday shoes, and I have a shoe cabinet next to the front door. And I also have a little table with a place for my key and my handbags. And there's a hanging rod as well for the handbags that I could put there. Another habit I noticed and that I've read more about since coming back is the idea of resetting your home daily. Before bed or before leaving in the morning, there's a routine of putting things back in their place. Doing your bed, putting away the dishes, tidying the entryway. It doesn't take long, but it means you let less mess accumulate. I always say it's easier to do 5 minutes of a tidy up daily than spend 5 hours doing it once a month. And this daily reset is such a good example of that. It doesn't have to be complicated. Just a loop around the flat, put the remote back, clear the table, hang up the jacket, put away the dishes. I always do that. So I've let the dishes dry since I've had my dinner. And then I always make sure before I go to bed that the dishes are all put away in the cupboard. The remote is put back in the tray. Just little things, but it makes it calm when I wake up in the morning. I don't have to look at this stuff from the night before. It's a rhythm. It makes it so much calmer, and it's a habit that's built into me that I don't even have to think about. Then there's the way items are stored. Japanese design often focuses on everything having a place, but not just shoved into a cupboard. There's a lot of thought about accessibility. If you use it often, it should be easy to reach. If it's seasonal or occasional, store it more discreetly. I saw this clearly in Muji and Daiso. The storage isn't just about containing, it's about placing with intention. This is something I teach in my own method. It's not enough to have a box. You need to think about how you move through your space. Are you constantly reaching over things or hunting through piles? Then your system isn't working for you. A tidy life is about flow. Japan showed me that again and again. Flow matters. And it's not just about the objects, it's about time. Time is respected in Japan in a way that really impressed me and I loved because I love being on time. Trains run on time. Queues are orderly. There's no rushing and shoving except when the trains are packed at commuter time, which I experienced twice. Then, yeah, there's a bit of shoving. That discipline extends into the home. When you give yourself time for your routines, whether it's a 5-minute reset or a weekly fridge clear out, you're building respect for your space and your time. There's also this quiet, consistent pride in keeping things clean. The public toilets, despite being high traffic areas, were spotless. I was in heaven. Like, all the toilets were clean and flushed, and there was tissue wasn't on the floor, and there was a respect. You know, if people had made a mess, they picked it up. And also, they had those really cool toilets with the buttons. And, like, you know, in my hotel rooms, I didn't even have to close the toilet seat. It would automatically do it, which I always do anyway because of feng shui. But yeah, it was amazing. I love the toilets. I really miss the toilets. Anyway, there's also the thing like people tidy up after themselves in cafes. Like if you go to a cafe, or even in my hotel when you have breakfast, you picked up you get a tray of the food and you picked it up and you went and put it in the space where you were supposed to put the stuff back. Sometimes the waiters would come and help you, but you went and did it. You cleared up. So in McDonald's, you know, you're supposed to, in all McDonald's, pick up, go put it in the space next to the bin, throw the stuff away. Often in a lot of places, even especially in this country, they don't do it, which I find always annoying because I worked at McDonald's when I was 16 and I used to be in the front, like clearing up because of people's mess. But there's none of that. Like people do it automatically. They have respect. They put the cups away when they go to a coffee shop and stuff. Even in the convenience stores, they're all neat and tidy. That shared sense of care, that leave it better than you found it attitude really struck with me. And of course, we can apply that in our own homes. I always say, future you will thank you, whether it's washing the dishes after dinner rather than leaving them for the next morning, or giving the bathroom sink a quick wipe before heading to bed. Those tiny rituals make a big impact over time. Another beautiful ritual is around food. Bento boxes, for example, are not just meals, they're little expressions of care. Everything is placed intentionally. Portions are thoughtful. There is balance. And often they're prepared in the morning as part of the day's start. It's a reminder that even mundane tasks can have beauty and rhythm. I have to say, I love the bento boxes. They had bento boxes, especially for the Shinkansen bullet trains, which I went on quite a few times. But at the stations, they have sections for these shin bentos. Or was it bento shins? Anyway, and like they make sure, I mean, even if it's fish, it won't smell. It's just, and it was the right amount of food and it was delicious. It was awesome. I had to use Google Translate a lot, but it was great. Sorry, it's becoming a travel episode rather than a guiding you on the routines, but it is part of it. I did have an amazing time. Now, I'm not saying we all need to become experts in Japanese bento making or start folding our laundry into origami. Even I can't do that. But the idea that routines can be gentle, caring, and almost meditative, that's really powerful. Instead of viewing household tasks as chores, what if we saw them as a way to show we care for ourselves, for our families, and for our homes? I know a lot of people feel resistance to routines. They feel restricted or bored, but in reality, it's the opposite. Good routines free up your time and energy. You don't have to constantly think, where did I put that? Or I still didn't do the washing because it's already part of your rhythm. So here are a few Japanese inspired routines you could try this week. Number one is take off your shoes off at the door and set up a simple system to keep that area tidy. Do a daily reset before bed, 5 to 10 minutes max, just enough to bring things back to neutral. Create a home for frequently used items. Think your keys, your remotes, your bag. Make it easy to return them. Add one small moment of care into your everyday, whether it's wiping down the kitchen counter, fluffing your cushions, or even making your lunch look nice. Not for others, but for you. Start with one, build from there. It's not about perfection or pressure. It's about flow, care, and making life just feel that little bit calmer. I'd love to hear how you get on. Do you have any routines that help keep your home tidy? Please share it in the comment box. And have you ever adopted any habits from other cultures that work for you? Let me know. Share it in the comments, put it in a message on Instagram, or you can visit me at declutterme.com and let me know. Thank you so much for listening. I'm always appreciative of it. I'll be back with one more episode, which is inspired with Japan. Until then, keep things flowing and stay organized. Take care. Bye.